Mm-hmm.
We're just straight up murdering dudes on this bridge.
And you're getting inked. Shameful.
Yeah. Apparently, if you just like run into ink, you get inked. What a concept! I know, right? Am I alone here?
No.
Okay.
I think
Man,
you're...
I've seen it before. This game is nothing new.
Yeah.
Ink? Yeah, right. More like
ink
stink.
stains. Oh, snap, burn.
Alright, so have you... I don't forget if I've shown this off. This is the rainbow power-up.
Oh, yeah.
The
I
invincibility
remember that.
power-up. It's actually quite neat.
It's
I'm about to mess this next section up pretty badly because I'm bad at video games. I remember recording this and then going, oh, that's how that works. So this is a tank depot, and I'm
gonna
say,
tanks.
where are the tanks?
Okay.
There's no tanks here.
Not much of a tank depot then.
No?
Yeah.
Not yet, I'm guessing.
So I'm wasting my power-up here going, oh shit, where are the tanks? Because I got a rainbow power-up to deal with them. They're not spawning.
Why the video... So is that why the video is 20 minutes long? You just can't get past the tanks?
And then this happens. I realize, oh hey, there's a challenge we should do over here. I should do it. After I paint everything, of course, and waste my power-up. And
Naturally.
not manage... Oh, I don't even try to do that. I think I'm trying to spawn the tank some more. Because this game's... You're going to see, like... Something wacky's going to happen, maybe.
The Blob!
Really.
The Blob, the wackiest game since, Elements. I don't know, I couldn't think of anything.
Come on, you got tons to work with. You got fluidity.
No, that wasn't wacky. I mean, it did have a couple of physics things, but it wasn't
I'm just dying all over the place here. I got
Let's spend like
electrocutified.
another 5 or 10 minutes discussing whether or not the Blob actually has a skeleton or is just wearing a cool t-shirt from Hot Topic.
Well, I vote for a skeleton because it reminds me of Jack Skellington, the best movie ever.
The movie's called Jack Skellington.
Yes,
I agree.
it is
that
called
is
Jack
thing that
Skellington.
There was
You didn't know.
Edward Scissorhands. That's pretty awesome.
No.
Come on, how
Edward
did you not
Scissorhands.
like a movie called Edward Scissored Hands?
Because it's just a modern retelling of Frankenstein, and that was done much better in Frankenstein Jr. Did I do my film snob?
What?
Wasn't that
Well
a
enough.
Mel Brooks movie?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
jeez.
that was Little Frankenstein or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
my dad
God.
when we watched that. He was like, "Oh man, you're gonna love this movie. It's so
No,
funny."
no, nobody should love that movie.
Little Frankenstein? Really?
Yeah, he was like,
Ugh.
"Well, because we both love Spaceballs." And he was like, "Oh man, you'll like
But
this."
it's not Spaceballs. I have not
And it was
seen
just-
Spaceballs very much of it. I've only seen like the first half of the movie, unfortunately. But it's not Spaceballs. No.
So wait, you haven't seen? Go watch Spaceballs. It's not.
I
a
watched the
terrible
first
movie.
half of it because it was on TV.
I will say Spaceballs is not a great movie.
No.
Well, that's probably because you've never seen Star Wars.
Well, no, I get the joke.
yeah.
And
The
in fact, while
whole
I haven't
joke
seen
is
Star Wars. I have seen Thumb Wars.
Thumb Wars is pretty great.
I haven't watched Star Wars, but I have watched the ASCII Star Wars, so I feel like I have a pretty good.
One of my friends. Oh, I'm even going to the end of the level already. I'm terrible at this. One of my friends, as a kid, his father was like the coolest guy on the block because he just like stole movies and music from the internet before we actually knew how to do any of that. They don't do it now because they realize it's a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
But I remember one day him downloading Thumb Wars and realizing that he didn't have anything to burn it onto to watch it other than a mini disc. And those cost him like $50 a piece. And him hating himself because he was enjoying Thumb Wars after he wasted it on a $50 DVD.
Wouldn't it have been cheaper to just buy the movie?
Yeah. It would have been a lot cheaper.
Yes, he was
I remember
not really.
mini discs.
That was not, he actually bought like the mini DVDs for work, but they were super expensive, and he couldn't expense them to the company.
Well,
So he was watching Thumb Wars and hating himself because he wasted all this money on Thumb Wars. I forget if he actually thought it was a good movie or not, but that's how I watched Thumb Wars.
I think it's pretty. I thought it was pretty funny back in the days when I watched it. I don't know what it is.
Is it $50 funny? Is the $1,000,000 question?
No. I would probably just have purchased it for what, like $5 or $10, whatever they were selling it for.
I'm just gonna go ahead and admit that I don't actually know what Thumb Wars is.
It's a parody of Star Wars, only it's thumbs with faces painted on it, and that's like.
Oh, so like Potter Puppet Pals kind of deal?
No, it's really more.
They try to play it.
It's called Thumb Wars: The Phantom Cuticle. Apparently,
yeah.
I did not know that.
It's all nail and thumb based jokes, only Star Wars.
So I'm gonna link this in Skype chat. I almost said thumb chat because I'm an absolute moron.
Yeah,
welcome to Let's Play.
I am not putting this in the fucking video, okay?
Rename this Skype chat to thumb chat.
That's awful. It's literally awful.
Guys, since I'm not putting this in the video, if you want to see, oh, by the way, the tanks.
Oh yeah,
here they are.
Here are the tanks.
Basically, we had to talk to Biff to start
his mission.
Starts the tanks.
Where's your rainbow power up now, bitch?
It's gone.
But yeah, Biff is in cahoots with the tanks because as soon as we talk to him, the tanks spawn. So,
well, of course.
Yeah.
He's a mole. He's a traitor.
Yeah. We know that by now.
Yeah.
You have to like execute, like line him up against the wall and do like a gangland style execution on him to teach those Inkies a lesson.
Well, actually, it's the professor that's the traitor because he's just feigning amnesia. Oh, I'm an old man. I'm pretending that I don't know that I'm evil.
What?
That's my impression of an old man.
You have bad impressions. Don't,
I know.
Please don't.
I never told you I had good impressions.
This is not Let's Play impressions. This is Let's Play the Blob. Please get your Thumb Wars impressions out of here.
Why am I here then?
Thumb Wars. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a Thumb War. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe.
Oh, that's bad.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Can't tell people to rate it freely.
Also, I've noticed the theme is apparently parasols whenever you take over buildings.
Not quite.
I just noticed there's a lot of parasols and stuff involved.
It's not really more specific than beach.
It's not a very good theme.
No,
I have to say it's probably the weakest theme so far that I've seen.
It's like nautical. It's about like there's. I thought I saw one thing with a steering wheel.
But the surfing was in the last level.
Yeah, that was the one with the octopus and
no,
stuff.
no, there was aquatic, and then there's like aquarium, and then there's beach, and they're different. But this is the dockland, so it doesn't fit either of them.
No, you don't. This is a pretty terrible theme, yeah.
And it's annoying that they put the two nautical themed levels right after each other.
Yeah. Also, is that like skulls on top of the building?
Yeah.
I do.
Whoa.
I do have.
They take their
I kind of feel like this game, the levels are very, very similar.
Yeah.
Like just if you look at it at a glance,
yeah.
Apart from the like 1 or 2 distinguishing landmarks that each level has, you would not be able to tell where in the game you were.
I think there's there's a lot of interesting layout features that you can't really say, oh hey, that was an interesting hill, or that was an interesting town section. But you're absolutely right, and several times replaying through the game, I thought, wait a minute, that's in this level? I thought that was in this other level.
Yeah.
There is one level that really looks really cool and looks distinct. It's very distinctive. And if you point to any part of it, I could tell you that it was this level. There's actually 2 of those, or 3 of those. But they're far and few between in their endgame. I mean, the first part, The Last Resort, that was pretty neat, and it also had the best music so far.
But when you also think of it in this sort of term, it's essentially all the same city, so I don't think like the architecture would be different from different section of the city to the other section of the city. That, like, you know, architecture would stay the same. At least that's how a person would build it.
Yeah, but I mean, you hope you could do something a little bit more with it.
Yeah, I'm just
saying.
I
don't want to be dumb and say the second game improves on this, because I actually don't know if it does yet.
Oh, you haven't completed entirely?
Well, no, I've completed the game, but I don't want to go out and say, oh, it improves on this, when I might look at it again and say, oh, it really doesn't.
Oh, yeah,
I can think of all the levels in the game, and I think that they all have really unique you know, ideas and concepts. And they all try and do different things, but whether that means they have different architecture, I'm not sure yet. Because, I mean, I guess you can look at it and say part of it is that they're not taking the themes to heart enough at some level. All the buildings look exactly the same.
Yeah, I can see
They've
that.
used that sign on the side of buildings for a lot of things. They've used the same building designs. Buildings themselves don't look different.
It's very copy and paste.
Yeah.
Only they copy and paste in different like forms, if you will.
And you can see that bridge wrapping around, and you can look at the shape of each level as a whole, and you can look at where the heights are, and you know, you can identify each level based on the landmarks and based on the general shape. Like that out there is the radio tower that we saw in the beginning of the game, in the beginning
looks
of the
like
level.
a rocket ship.
Well, yeah, but the end of the level is right next to the start of the level, and you can tell when you go through it that there's a unique shape to the level. But each individual piece, not very standoutish.
Yeah, the level design is very uninspired.
Yeah.
For the most part, like, again, there are these one or two things that are really cool in each level, but the vast majority of it is just really samey city blocks.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of feel like if the thing that you use to remind yourself what level you're in is whether or not there are like electric paths and spike blobs, then that's
or fire.
I mean, I really think that each level. I mean, what I'm saying is that I think each level does a great job with design in terms of gameplay. And each level's unique in how you play through it, and where you end up, and what challenges you accomplish. And, you know, the shape. If you took all the buildings out, and you just had, like, a silhouette of the level, each one
essentially what
unique.
you're saying is they're very good at game level design, but they're not very good at variety.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, maybe, like, whatever variety there is in, like, the play style and how you have to go about it, I don't think that really, like, effectively comes across in video format.
No, no, of course not.
It's probably kind of like a Shadow of the Colossus thing and Katamari Damacy thing, where if you're not playing it, then you don't actually really feel it.
Right. And I've, in some respects, this is a poor decision to LP.
But
because it's really hard to convey. I mean, I will say that I would like it a lot if they varied up the architectural choices.
Yeah,
so instead of city blocks, they had suburbs where you look like you were painting individual houses.
Yeah.
Things like that, or you had large corporate buildings, or old, you know. If you go to like a standard European city, like I assume Denmark has those as well, but I just went to Belgium. It was very, there's all this old architecture put next to new architecture, and it was good. It was unique. You could see that, you know, there was this section of the city, there was the part where you had all these glass buildings, and
yeah, well, you have the more modern business
you know, the modern
sections.
parts, and they had, you know, the Palace of Justice, which is this, well, it's the goofiest name, the Palace of fucking Justice, but it was this old, giant, huge fucking building. One of the biggest buildings I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's huge.
But on the other hand, you also have places like Prague, which is in Czech Republic, where pretty much the entire city still looks like it has the same old architecture, doesn't have anything modern, but I think that has more to do with the war that was there.
I mean, and I flew into Dublin as a layover, and that was really neat. Because there were these rolling hills, and they tried to fit a city into that.
Okay.
And you could tell they didn't match completely in the best way possible. it was really unique because you had all these rolling hills and like there's just like it would look like, you know, the Microsoft wallpaper, except there would just be like a giant like corporate building just right on top of the hill. It was really neat, and it didn't mesh at all. But again, that's sort of a variety that exists in the world.
Yeah,
that sounds super strange.
Yeah, it does sound really strange.
Yeah, it doesn't work in the slightest. But you look at that and go, "That's really cool." How it just doesn't work. How they tried to turn it into a city, but they just can't.
Man, what if a city wasn't really a city, but it was made of colors and shapes?
But I mean, you can see they tried to do something with, you know, the boats here, but that's you know, one landmark. If you had
also something I'd like to point out is that those tubes are they change color.
Yeah.
I don't think we've mentioned that before. I just
everything changes color in this game.
No, but like they actually are delivering
they're like
paint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're literally delivering paint.
If you look at them, the like color actually moves along as like a paint delivery pump.
Yeah, it's
system.
like a rainbow effect type thing.
I didn't actually see it moving along. I just know that you get a rainbow effect.
Yeah.
Because it's a static prop. But yeah, if you had a, I mean, you can see the overall shape. You know, you have, you know, the cranes over here and the cargo. It's neat.
Yeah.
But then
but whenever you get to the city sections, they all look
you can totally tell that they just here's a bunch of silos that we put down, and here's a treatment facility. It's not. If they could zoom out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, though, we haven't really seen the silos as much as we've seen like city buildings. Like city buildings, you see all the time. No, I meant like in every single letter, but every single level we've seen the same city buildings. Whereas I think this is the first time we see the silos. So
yeah, maybe this is actually the first time we've seen the silos, but
yeah. So I don't know. Like to me, the silos are new because they remind me of like teacups. So like they're teacup shaped, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's new architecture.
Can I just interrupt you for a second?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And say that I really don't know how to feel about that skybox.
What about it? I can't actually see the skybox.
No, like it was to the left of where the camera is pointing now, just a little while ago. And just for a second, it looked like really Monty Python-esque, where it was just totally flat up against.
Oh
like
yeah.
Kind of, what's that Jim Carrey movie, Truman Show?
Oh,
it was very Truman Show-esque and kind of made the level feel a bit enclosed and claustrophobic.
You mean all those clouds, like, hanging very low? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, like that.
It's sort of, I mean, I think if you look at, it's sort of creepy looking at each level and saying, a lot of it is just a giant character and it feels really fake if you go and think about it too much. Here's the boat part, here's the city part, here's the silo part.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of contributes to the fakeness of not really grasping the architecture, because in some, I feel
as you're
in a lot
playing,
of ways
you don't notice it as much.
Yeah, I mean, you really notice it if you're digging into it and looking at it.
Well, this is generally how it is with videos too. Like you're watching a Let's Play, you'll be watching the video, and since you're watching, you're paying more attention to what's going on in the video. Whereas if you're playing, you're gonna miss a lot of small things.
Right. When I was playing here, I was probably, you know, I was focused on that radar in the middle. That's it. Trying to figure out where the next goddamn thing I have to paint 100% is.
Yeah.
By the way, I like these 100% videos, not because I actually enjoy 100%ing them, but it just gives us some time to talk, and also gives us some time to show off how obnoxious this game is. But
finding that last one or two thing is...
And you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just like, I know by now what the game wants from me.
You're painting the fences.
And I'm, you know, painting, you know, tiny little sections of fences, being Tom Sawyer here.
This has most definitely been brought up before, but I just can't, like, from looking at it, I just can't shake the feeling that this looks like it controls really, really awkwardly and like tankily.
Slightly.
No, it's really awkward to control, but it's fun, I think.
There, 100%.
I think moving around is fun in this game.
It's not like at all like your how should I put it?
The game gives you so much flexibility in your range of movements when it doesn't want to constrain you on a path like with the race sections, or when you have to do very specific platforming with very specific paints, that you can move around very easily and freely, and it's mostly enjoyable.
Okay.
To just go places and slam into things and take shortcuts with wall jumps and things like that. It's only when the game says, okay, here you need to use these specific paints or these specific things that it really becomes annoying. And there we go. There's 100%ing.
100%? Now you can leave the level.
Yeah.
That is an amount of percentages greater than or equal to 99.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's true.
I did not get
Also,
the time medal as usual because this game sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, you have to play the game.
You got the gold medal. That's worth more than time.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure about that?
Definitely. I am a
Also,
dirty, filthy capitalist. Money is everything.
I don't even remember what the next level is. Oh, it's the Hanging Gardens. That's fun.
Oh, Hanging Gardens.
Sounds cool.
Oh man, so we're in Babylon.
See you there then.